A huge weekend of international racing. We're at Sha Tin on Sunday for two Group 3 sprints, the National Day Cup and the Celebration Cup as well. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune. Good to have your company for the preview of Sunday's 10-race programme. Joined in the studio by Paul Lally and John Blance. And John, they're Group 3s, but they're right out of the top draw.
They certainly are. Yeah. Some of the big stars in Hong Kong racing are going to be lining up. Got Mr Stunning and DB Pin in the National Day Cup, and then a race later got the likes of Beauty Only, of course, had a fantastic year last year, and some good young horses further down the weights as well. So it's going to be a real cracker. Yeah.
So some big names in the sprints, Paul, but some up and comers through the card as well.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? There's some really good races. The last we've got Pingwu Spark, who's come up pretty short at the moment, but he's looked really good in his win earlier this season. And you've also got horses like A Beautiful, just beaten last time. So there's some good racing all over.
Yeah, and of course we'll be cheering on blizzards throughout the course of the afternoon as well in Japan.
Yeah, he's drawn gate 12, which is not ideal, and there's some decent competition, but yeah, let's hope he runs a good race.
All right, so that's all happening on Sunday. We're going to get straight into the action. Plenty to get through. A few horses are not going round on Sunday's 10-race programme, though. Three of them, in actual fact. Colour Achiever, Colourful Achiever even, out of race number 3. That's Saddlecloth number 7. Victor Emperor is scratched as well. And in race 6, last start winner Mordicus is out. He'll be replaced by Istanbul Bay. Matthew Poon jumping in at the saddle there. So, the opening events on the 10-race programme. A3, A+3, of course, for the card, and they're all on the turf as well. It's a Class 4, it's over the 1,200 metres, headed by Fantastic Show. Barrier 1 for him, won course and distance on his final start last season. Multimax will roll from Barrier 4, none other probably will as well from 10. Charity Wings makes his debut. More space from Rich City Fortune. Flying Noble gets the shadow roll on Joe Moreira for the first time. And Grade 1 and Tourbillon King, course and distance for the first time for him, but he'll probably roll from Barrier 9, John. Yeah,
Multimax has been a bit disappointing in his races of late, but one thing you do know about him is that he will roll forward. Rich City Fortune has had some success going forward as well of late, and Tourbillon King brings some early speed from 1,000-metre races, so there should be a good gallop here.
First horse we're going to take a look at here is Rich City Fortune. Now, he hasn't trialled, so I thought I'd show his track work leading into this. Matthew Poon will take a little bit of weight off his back as well, and he was stretching out nicely enough in this particular race, as you can see. Moving well was number 5 here, Rich City Fortune. Flying Noble is a horse that's improved a lot in the off-season. He did nothing last season. I think he went out over 100 to 1 in most of his starts. Did show a little bit towards the end of his last season, but he's definitely an improver. That's his piece of work there. And then we followed up with Joe Moreira aboard down the back straight. So not a bad piece of work also from Flying Noble. And interesting, he's got the shadow roll on. Got there in the end.
Yeah, it was a nice trial he put up recently, so we'll have a look at that in due course. Let's start off, though, with Fantastic Show, the horse that Moreira rode last time out to victory. That was in a Griffin at the back end of last season. His new jockey is Nash Willer.
Nash, Fantastic Show, winner in the Griffin races last season. You rode him in a Gallop recently. What feel did he give you? Yeah,
quite good. He's although he's had that experience last season, he sort of still feels like he's learning his craft a little bit. Yeah, the way he's drawn perfectly in one, but he's sort of, to me, jumping out the other morning, he's sort of a bit slow and a bit awkward out of the gates, and takes sort of 100 yards to find his feet. So hopefully that's not the case, and he can sort of take up a bit more prominent position and travel well there. And you know, how he finished his work off the other morning late, he's certainly a chance.
Me Choice certainly going well. Good trainer to be riding for at the moment.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, I've been fortunate enough to, he's supported me, actually my first winner in Hong Kong, here on an international day some years ago. So, yeah, always good to ride for him, and he turns his horses out in great order.
He rolled a hot pot at the end of last year in Lucky Master. And as Nash was saying, he slowly away in that race as well, but just sort of kept going.
Well, there should be some pace here, which will definitely help him. And yeah, he sort of slalomed his way through that time. I think there's a lot to like about this horse, and the track work looked pretty good as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And the only question mark, he's got to carry the 133. I don't think Barrier 1, he's not going to take advantage of it, is he? That's the question. But he'll get back, he'll be running on late. There's no question. Yeah.
All right, that's Fantastic Show. His first start out of Griffin Company. Let's have a look at a couple of others, starting off with none other and My Honey. This is last time out. None other. Came out Barrier 1 on this occasion. He got 10 this time round.
Yeah, he has. He's got a little bit more awkward. Dylan Moe will take the weight off the horse's back. And he's been consistent without winning. My Honey, I think, needs to improve in the 2 starts we've seen from him. So of the 2, none other, I think, is clearly the better one of the 2.
Yeah, he's been in pretty good form. Slight concern about none other is this wasn't a great race, and 1400 is more his go as well. So I think he's possibly going to be up against it on a win line anyway.
All right, that was Mordecai's winning as well, of course, unfortunately isn't going round. Flying Noble we saw there in track work. Let's look at this trial. Very taking performance here.
Yeah, well, I get up early and do most of these barrier trials, and this was a real eye-opener. Not because it was particularly brilliant, it's just as Paul was hinting at earlier on, a massive improvement on what he's done so far. Yeah. The 4th at the back end of last year reads pretty well now as well, and that's Relentless Me in second, who's going to go around a pretty short price in Class 3 a little bit later on, and he's just extended away very nicely, not really been asked. Moreira's rung up for the ride. He's on. He's going to be tough to beat on that evidence.
Yeah, looks that way, doesn't he? He's going to run a really good race. In time, I think he'll need further because he's by Ekra.
But can get away with it, maybe.
They're miles. He might be able to get away with it. Fresh.
Grade 1, you've had a bit of time for, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to put him on top because I think he was a bit unlucky in his last few starts. He's going to represent a bit of value as well, around the $10 mark. And I like this trial. I thought he hit the line really strongly, didn't give it away, and he didn't have all the favours last season. I think he should deserve to win. And he did run second fresh up last year as well.
Yeah. I think I best betted him after that, and he didn't win. So you don't forget these things in a hurry. So I haven't got him on top, but I've got him in there too.
All right, Flying Noble, though, almost even money. He's been over 100 to 1 on 4 starts so far.
Yeah, so you're going to have to take pretty short. So that's why I'm going to go the other one. I'm going to go with Grade 1 to beat Flying Noble. Not much between them, but at the prices, I think Grade 1 would be the better bet. None other in for third, very consistent without winning, as we mentioned. And Fantastic Show, I think he'll be the one running on late. The way I'd play it would be Quinella places around Grade 1, Flying Noble, none other. We'll just back Grade 1 each way.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Flying Noble on top. Not totally enamoured of the price, but it was a real eye-opening barrier trial, and I think he's definitely improved. So 8 on top for me. Fantastic Show, I think, will benefit the more pace there is in the race, and it looks like there will be quite a lot. Grade 1 for the reasons that Paul said. And Paddington hasn't really hit his straps yet in Hong Kong. There was lots of whispers about this horse when he first came here, but I thought he showed some decent gate speed last time out. Should be able to position up OK, and he might stay on quite well. But for me, the best play here is Flying Noble to win. As Paul says, back him to win, move on.
Paddington, of course, behind Starlight as well. That form's worked out very well of late.